Well, I had my first dream about my tractor last night. Dreamed I got the thing running, was going down the highway and said, oops, forgot to put oil in the transmission and the final drive. So that prompted me to go down to Tractor Supply and pick up several gallons of 80 to 90 weight oil from when I'm ready. Doing some paint removing at the moment off these wheels. It's a mystery here. The rim on this tire was gray, and I thought that was stock, but apparently remove the gray, we get this yellow, which would be indicative of, yes indeed, a international yellow tractor rolling off the assembly line. Of course, this serial number of this tractor matches the one they produced as an international, and so I'm anxious to get down to the get this gray off and see if there's a coat of red underneath it. I don't think so. I think it was a straight yellow, but we'll see. So it would appear that the original color of these rims started out as red, covered to the special order of yellow, and then colored again, painted again with gray. And that also matches, and I'd forgotten about the original rims, which I had to take off because they're rusted and bent. I replaced them with some aftermarket stuff. Has the same color pattern, some red, yellow, and covered with gray. So it looks like I'm going to have a yellow tractor with yellow rims. Next step is to got the oil pan over here, it's drying, and I'm going to stick it in the sandblasting cabinet and get the rest of that paint off. And let me get started on that. I got the axle shaft bolt in the mail today, and nice and shiny. And I'm tapping the shaft with the threads. I've got it probably down about 2/3 of the way it needs to go, but I'm measuring it so I don't necessarily have to go all the way down. So it'll be a little trial and error. I marked my tap with a magic marker there. I'm going to measure it against how much I need, and we'll see if this works. All right, we were successful. Rethreaded the axle shaft. The bolt goes in nicely. Irony here is this tap I was able to buy at Ace Hardware, which is 3 blocks from the house. I was walking up there and got it. Thought that was a hard thing to get. I didn't know I'd have to go to Massachusetts to get the bolt, but in any event, it's done, and now we can clean up this workbench and get to work with assembling the axle onto the final drive. Important part of this work is making sure you have all your pieces and parts lined up, properly identified, and ready to go. And that's what I've been doing for the past 20 minutes or so. Got my sleeve on my shaft, lubricated the housing for the bearing, got the bull gear in, and getting it lined up. So put a little screwdriver down there to hold it up, lined up so we can drive the axle shaft through. And I've got the components for the other side, bearing, washers, and so forth, nuts and bolts. So everything's properly organized, and let's see if I can get this in. All right, got the axle shaft installed, bull gear installed. Left remaining is the oil pan. And the thing went in without incident. I'm learning as I go along, but this brake liner is still way too snug on the brake drum, so I'm not getting real freedom of movement. So tomorrow I'm going to take the liner off, see if I can't make some adjustments. That's all for now. Good night.